This is Sean. Shane, so you can introduce.
And I had the time of my life, thank you, until about 30 seconds ago.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call me Badly. All right.
Bowling Shane.
So today, I wrote Shane there. I got it right there. So today we're talking about Yak Shaver. I'm going to take it to the next level with Special Agent Yak Shaver. So it was Andrew, me, and Calum, and Shane. All right. All right, so we'll start by looking at what is the pain, then look at some potential solutions. We'll see an awesome demo, and then look at some resourcing estimates and then future steps. So what's the biggest problem with Yak Shaver right now? The biggest thing is we have a waiting list where potential clients can sign up and wait till we're ready to supply Yak Shaver to them. And the two biggest things they ask for is Jira and Zendesk. The other thing is once you have Yak Shaver working, you get a lot of Yak Shaves. You can see a bunch there, and you get a lot of duplicates because two people Yak Shave the same thing, and it just adds both issues. And it doesn't manage that. So yeah, Yak Shaver was really cool 2 years ago when we first had the idea and started building it. But now it's ancient tech. Legacy, yeah. So you can create PBIs with any MCP host now. You can use Claude Desktop, or you can even use GitHub Copilot and VS Code. And that's awesome because it's got the context of your repo. You can see your code. Yeah, so permissions. This is another huge problem for clients. So when we go to set up Yak Shaver in their tenant, we have to ask them for access to their entire SharePoint. And they get all weird about it. For some reason, they don't want to share every single file they have. I don't know. And there's no flexibility with Yak Shaver right now. It does a great job of creating PBIs, and then that's it. It can't manage duplicates. It can't add comments, upvote, can't do any of that stuff. And Yak Shaver works awesome for SSW and our processes. So we use DevOps and GitHub, but clients, like I said, they don't want it unless it does Jira, Trello, all those other things. And I'm sure you've all seen Calum's user group, 2 hours long. There's a huge dev effort to add integrations right now. So we estimate 1 month per integration. So if we want to add Trello, that's 1 month of work. Yeah, we could be doing cooler stuff. And yeah, so that's about 40K plus ongoing maintenance. So every time we add a new feature, we need to also add that feature to every integration. So that's, yeah, a lot of work. All right, so option 1, do nothing. Continue with custom integrations. This has a highly predictable outcome. We know how this works. We know how to do it. It's just a lot of work, a month of work per integration. There's more work for devs. Our devs need work, and yeah, they can work on integrations. All right, so they are very expensive. About a month is a lot of work for just one integration, and it's slow to implement and maintenance. Also limited functionality. All right, so option 1.5, the Builder AI approach. Has everyone seen the news about Builder AI? Yeah. So they had a pretty creative approach to an AI solution. They said they were doing AI, but they actually meant they had a room full of Indians, actual Indians. Yeah, that's what AI stood for. Yeah. So this approach is good because no dev work required, and supports another language. So we've got Indian languages supported. That's built in, and it's a little bit fraudulent, but that offshore staff will need management as well. So yeah, that's what we're thinking. That's my team. And there they all are. Yeah. So that's option 1.5. Yeah.
All right, get out of here, Brady. Let's get some real solutions. All right, so option 2, Special Agent Yak Shaver, 007 MCP. So what are we talking about when we say Yak Shaver MCP? We're talking about integrations with config rather than code. So everyone who's seen my user group will know if you want to plug an MCP into a program, all you need to do is give the large language model access to your MCP server with the right config, and then you've instantly unlocked integration with whatever that MCP server does with its tools. So it's going to be way easier to add whatever platform we want, including Jira, as an integration. And therefore, a much more capable product, not just because we can integrate with all these different systems, but because we can do so much more as well. It's now agentic. If we want to add new features, such as check for an existing PBI, and if it already exists, add a comment rather than a new PBI. If we can do that, it's just a prompt. There's no dev work required whatsoever. And yeah, like I said, agentic. So many features for free. Duplicate check, as I said, we can upvote. So obviously, if someone has already reported an issue, you don't just want to be silent that someone else has reported the same issue. You can upvote the existing issue. And depending on what platform, obviously there are different ways of upvoting on different platforms, GitHub, Azure DevOps, whatever it happens to be. We don't need to worry about how do you implement this on every platform. We just tell it in the prompt, if this already exists, upvote it, and it'll work it out as long as it's got a tool to do it. Leave comment, again, same thing. So if it already exists, you could leave a comment. If what you're asking for is slightly different to the existing reported PBI, you could leave a comment explaining, hey, that's good, but here's an extra thing that I'd like as well. Adding labels. So at the moment, Yak Shaver has 2 labels that it adds automatically to everything. Yak Shaver and needs refinement. Obviously, different people use GitHub labels in different ways. And obviously, it's impossible for us to write code to support every different way of using labels. So just prompt it. Again, you could write your own prompt to say, in this case, use that label. In that case, use this label. Whatever you want to do. Very easy. Research. How cool would it be if YakShaver could look up the most awesome source of information in the entire world before it created a PBI? That, of course, being SSW rules. Imagine if every PBI that was created had a link to an SSW rule that was relevant and explained why it's relevant and how the solution should be done as per the rules. That would be awesome. And read documentation, not only searching externally the rules, but searching internally. You've got a README file, you've got probably a bunch of other documentation in your repo with the MCP GitHub server. You can read that very easily, but you could also have documentation on other systems, SharePoint, Confluence, whatever it happens to be. As long as you plug in the MCP server, you can do it. Easy. Done videos. Maybe more on that later, if you're lucky, we'll see. Create multiple tickets. So currently, if you want to create multiple GitHub issues or multiple issues, whatever it is, you need to sit there and start recording, stop recording multiple times. Each time you say, all right, this is my first issue, this is my second issue, this is my third issue. What happens if after 3 issues you remember, oh, there's a bit extra I wanted to add to that first one? Well, I guess you need to manually go back, find that first one and edit it. What if you could just record one session where you're finding all the issues? You say, all right, here's an issue here, here's an issue there, here's an issue there. Oh, and back on that first one, here's a bit of extra detail. You don't need to edit anything. With that one video, it could spawn multiple issues or multiple actions or multiple whatever you want to do. What are the downsides of this? Now, the first big downside is it's too easy to implement. So our developers at SSW pride ourselves on the quality of our output. And if we are just writing simple prompts to do all these awesome things, we're not really flexing our dev muscles, so to speak. So that's a real downside of this. Another downside, so obviously there's only limited screen real estate on the yakshaver.ai website. So if we add all these features, the font size is going to have to be really tiny to fit it all in. So that's a real disaster. Another thing, too many sales. So we're trying our hardest. We're hiring 2 new sales guys at the moment. But, obviously we can only hire so many sales guys to handle these, unless we can organize some sort of YakShaver sales agent that maybe as the next product. Next downside, not enough maintenance work for this. So again, our devs need work. We need to be doing something to be productive. We need maintenance work on all these custom integrations that we could be building. So that's obviously a downside. If it's just a prompt, there's no maintenance. And obviously too many green ticks on the left. That slide looks disgusting, doesn't it? So yeah, that's a big downside. All right, so guys, I heard you're ready. Here is the big demo of the day. I'm going to present to you Jira integration with Yak Shaver. So let me change to my app here. All right, so I have set up a Jira backlog, and what we're going to pretend for the purpose of this demo is that Yak Shaver items are in Jira rather than GitHub. And I'm just doing that so I can demo this feature of talking to Jira. So I'm going to start a screen capture and share my right screen. Hello, I've got an issue with the Yak Shaver website. The picture of the yak looks too ugly, and I would like a new picture of a yak. I would like one with cool sunglasses that make it look like a special agent. Thank you. And I'll stop that. And I'll upload it. Okay, so what is going to happen now is, based on the configuration that we've made, we're going to spin up an agent, and this agent is going to be configured to talk to Jira. So I can actually watch it running here. Obviously in the future, this will be inside the YakShaver app. But so you can see here, it's creating an execution plan. It's drafting an issue, is looking for the right Jira project. It is now going to create the Jira issue with the details, including the video link, just like YakShaver works currently in GitHub. And it should be done. So if I now jump back to Jira and refresh, where are we up to? So we've got 10 there. So if I have a new one, we should be bigger than 10. There it is, 12. There was 11, I deleted it. So here we go. This is my new issue. So I've got a link to the video, which is just what I recorded in front of you. Yak picture on YakShaver website is too ugly. Request for new image with sunglasses. So that's what I requested. Obviously, I haven't told it to, that's an easy change to give it the right context. But yeah, so that's what I asked for. This sort of looks like a YakShaver issue. Obviously, we could prompt it to do whatever we want it to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you. You guys didn't think I was going to leave it there, did you? There's actually a little bit more to demo, so let's keep going. So I had to add these screenshots in case it didn't work, but obviously it did, so I don't need to show you. Now, guys, I'm proud to announce the launch of YakShaver Zendesk integration today. So let me demo it. Don't clap yet, it hasn't worked yet. So we all know our SSW sysadmins use Zendesk, obviously. So it would be cool if you could just create a ticket and put it directly into Zendesk for the sysadmins, rather than having to do something where you email it to the PDI Zendesk, whatever that is, and that creates a ticket. It'd be cool if we could just go straight to Zendesk. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to record another shave here. Hello, I would like to report an issue with the Melbourne office. It is currently on fire, and we need urgent sysadmin assistance, please. Thank you. Okay, and then I'm going to do that. So what that should do, if I jump back over here, we should now see another thing pop up here. All right, so now we are creating a Zendesk ticket. So this time I've configured it to use the Zendesk MCP. You'll notice for each project, or for each thing we're reporting, we can obviously get it to use different MCPs, because obviously your different projects are going to be in different places, right? So you'll be able to configure what servers do you use for what project. Obviously, if I'm talking to the admins, I'm going to talk to Zendesk. So it's currently doing a bit of research, searching Zendesk tickets. We'll just wait for that to do stuff. Searching a bit more. I think I asked it to look for any existing tickets that someone else may have reported. So, yes. Hopefully the office is not already on fire. We'll see.
Low level issue.
All right, so it's now deciding whether to open a new ticket or add to an existing one if duplicate found. So all this stuff here, by the way, is based on the prompt. So again, I can give it a different prompt depending on what the project is. So if I want to tell it, all right, in this project, always create a new issue no matter what, I can just tell it to do that and it will. If I tell it, if that already exists, just add a comment, I can again do that in the prompt and it will do it. So it says it's done. Let's jump over here and get out of this test one that was done earlier. The Zendesk flow, isn't it? How do you get back to a list of tickets? Here we go. All right, less than a minute ago. Urgent sysadmin issue reported in Melbourne office. I'd like to report an issue with Melbourne office. Urgent sysadmin assistance, please. Thank you. And there's a link. Now, this should be on YouTube, but I actually hit my quota of YouTube videos uploaded. So that's why that's not a YouTube link. And there you go. So that was shaved directly to Zendesk from Yak Shaver. Thank you. Thanks. I'm not going to leave you there. I've got more. All right. So, yes, cool. But I keyed to the start. We want to avoid duplicates, right? That's obviously a commonly requested feature. If you are reporting something that someone else has reported, we don't want to be polluting our backlog with 555 issues, which is how many are currently sitting open in the YakShaver repo, unfortunately. So, what can we do with YakShaver about that? Let's have a look. I'll just jump over to here. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm looking at the YakShaver playground backlog. We've already got 555 issues in the real YakShaver backlog, so I don't want to pollute it any further. So I'm just pointing at the playground rather than the real one, but obviously it could easily be the real one. So someone a couple of hours ago here has requested Zendesk integration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record another video requesting Zendesk integration. It should find that this issue already exists and it should add it as a comment rather than creating a new one. So let's see if it works. Hello, I think it would be cool if YakShaver could directly create tickets in Zendesk. So please add that to the YakShaver playground backlog. Thank you. Okay, now I'll upload that and then we'll jump back over here and it should pop up in a second. And then, so yeah, again, based on the custom prompt that I gave it, it should be checking to see if this issue already exists in the backlog. If it does already exist, it should add a comment. So you can see currently it is searching tickets, searching for existing issues or PBOs related to Zendesk, review ethics. Since an existing issue covers Zendesk, add a comment. So that's what it should have done. Let's have a look. And there we go. So it has added a comment. Hi team, adding further context. As shown in this video, the request is for YakShaver to be able to directly create tickets in Zendesk. Please consider this user scenario as part of the Zendesk integration feature. So again, we found that this issue existed. We just created a comment there instead of creating a new one. Pretty cool, right? Thank you. No, I'm not going to leave you there. I'm not going to leave you there. All right, there's more. Time Pro MCP. Now, you're going to have to wait until the later team to see how the Time Pro MCP works. But imagine if you just recorded your daily scrum and then using the power of a Time Pro MCP, you're able to enter a timesheet based on the recording of your daily scrum. And the link to that recording could even be on your timesheet. Pretty cool. But again, I won't steal their thunder. You can watch them to find out more about that. Now, Adam, yes. Questions at the end if possible, but yes, go ahead.
How do you write that in the middle of the YakShaver?
Because you'd use YakShaver to record the daily scrum, and that could be plugged in to any arbitrary MCP you can think of. So obviously the Time Pro MCP is this one example of how you could plug this into something else. But any other system that has an MCP server, you could plug it straight in. All you need to do is record a video. I'm talking to the audio. All right, now, all right, so anyway, thank you. Silence. So, I've shown you some pretty cool things here, to toot my own horn a little bit, but I've got one more thing for you. This is the last one, I guarantee. So, done video. People are getting distracted in the most important moment. So, the done video. YakShaver currently accepts a video as input. YakShaver processes the video. As part of processing, YakShaver creates a PBI on the backlog, right? We all know this. And that's cool. That works perfectly well. But what if YakShaver could handle the other side as well? So currently, when a dev gets an issue created and assigned to them from YakShaver, they complete the work. They are going to, as per the SSW rules, of course, record a done video, as we always do. And then they are going to reply to that issue. They're going to say, all right, acceptance criteria is 1, 2, 3 are done. Here's my done video. They're going to have to engage a bunch of brain power to think about typing that. Who wants to think in 2025? Come on. And that got us thinking as a special agent group. We have a system, hang on, we have a system that can handle video input, can do arbitrary actions with that video, can do whatever we want based on a prompt. Why don't we record the done video in YakShaver and just instruct YakShaver, if you get a done video, look up the originating issue, tag the originator of that issue, list each and every acceptance criteria and place a green check emoji next to it if it's done or a red cross if it's not done, and add a comment with a bit of extra context. All in YakShaver. And then you've got a public YouTube done video, making Adam happy, and you've automatically closed off that issue. Pause for gasp. Thank you. All right, so I'm now going to demo that as well. So I opened this Zendesk integration. So what I'm going to do is a done video for Zendesk, because I just demoed it, right? It's done basically, right, guys? Works on my machine anyway. So I'm going to record a done video for Zendesk. Hello, this is a done video for YakShaver Playground issue number 68. Pleased to report this issue is done. So it was requesting Zendesk integration, and as I've just demonstrated here, this Zendesk ticket was created by YakShaver. Therefore, all of the acceptance criteria here are done. And yeah, that's it. Thank you. There's my done video. Send that off. And then it is going to, based on the video, look up the issue, close the issue, tag, I forgot to mention that, it closed the issue as well, obviously, that's a given. Tag me, because I created it, and hopefully it'll list out the acceptance criteria with green ticks. We'll see what happens in a second. Oh, and it should also look up SSW rules, just to see if there's anything relevant to it. Just as a little Easter egg for you. Okay, so it's getting the GitHub issue, you can see there. That is hopefully number 68 on the playground. Here's the plan. Yep, so it located issue 68. It's retrieving the issue details, including the creator and acceptance criteria. Then it's going to prepare a comment. We've done, link to video, blah, blah, blah. So we give that a second. It should add the comment. Yes.
Is that coming up with that agentically?
It's agentic based on a prompt. So I tell it, when you get a thing on this backlog, here's what I want you to do, including branching logic. You know, if it's a done video, do this. If it's a complaining about a thing, do that. And then it figures it out based on what it gets. So it should be done. If I jump back over here, Oh, what's this? Done. Calum closed it. Hi, Calum. All acceptance criteria done. It doesn't have the green ticks, so it's a complete fail.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, it's got one, but I wanted one next to each acceptance criteria, so it needs a bit of prompt engineering. That's right. And what's this? It's got relevant SSW rules. Rules to better Zendesk. Rules to better video recording. A little bit shady, perhaps. Best way to end a video. Does that mean I didn't end it very well? Now I'm questioning myself. But there you go. So that's it. Done videos with Yak Shaver. Pretty cool. Again, I used up my YouTube upload quota, so I use them on YouTube, but it should be. There you go. Awesome. That's it.
This sounded cool.
There was one bonus demo. I won't actually show it because it's a bit too much, but the idea here was we can already do all this stuff. We could directly create a pull request. If someone requests something very minor, like just change a wording on a website, using the GitHub MCP server, we could just create a branch, edit the file, and create a pull request on that branch. So there's an example. I asked for a minor wording change. It just created a pull request directly. No need for an issue. So all someone has to do is come along, accept that pull request, and it instantly merged and wired as soon as it deploys.
Thanks, Calum. That was very exciting. So, transitioning now. As it stands, the Yak Shaver is not built to handle all the awesomeness of MCP, so we need to do something with it. So do we either keep the old app, or do we start fresh, or do we keep both for a while, eventually switching to something new? Either way, we still need the current portal, which is kind of the back-end system, as this is where we store all the configs for each product. So we just need to update the portal, acting as like a bit of a directory pointing to all the different projects, but all those projects will have MCP servers attached to them. And that's where the backlogs should be stored. So currently, YakShaver requires the use of a Teams app or a Chrome extension, and we investigated the idea of replacing these with a fresh app. So some of these initial and future capabilities could include things like it should record the screen and coordinate to the MCPs. Kind of like a safe mode. It works in an agentic way, so YakShaver can ask more questions, further increasing the accuracy of the request, and things like safe mode, so we can basically say, only create a draft of the issue, let us review it, and then send if we're happy with it. Right, so from SSW's point of view, there's less infrastructure to maintain, which is great. Things should just work. Clients. Okay, as mentioned earlier, a big concern for customers is giving full access to their OneDrive or SharePoint. So we remove that concern by using just individual personal access tokens within the MCPs. Now, incorporating a wizard could be pretty simple with a fresh app, and it helps non-technical people like Yuli to find out what the hell's a PAT, where do I find it, and how do I add it to YakShaver. So some of you might have experienced an email swarm, which is what happens when Adam writes emails whilst on a long flight. As soon as you land, they all get pushed at once. In the future, we can have an offline mode with YakShaver, and that means basically you have a local LLM that can stage all those requests, and as soon as the device gets back online, then it creates a Yak swarm, which is pretty exciting and scary as well. In the future, we could have a free version of this, so something like no backend portal, but users would have to integrate themselves and do all that hard work, bring their own tokens. So yeah, there's a few different options for us there. And I'd like to show you an app that I made, which represents what the client app could look like. So on this screen, we've got what the user would see when they want to kick off a recording. As mentioned before, they would previously use a Teams app or something like a snip tool, but here you just, look for an available source. It could be a window or a selection of a screen or a full screen, and then just start that recording, and it would kick off that YakShave process. Configuration from a user standpoint is pretty straightforward. There's predefined connections already in the dropdown. You just select which one and then enter your personal access token. And here's probably where we would have that wizard showing users where to get that access token and how to add it. And then we could add features as a basic example. Here's like a history of all the different yaks that have happened, some success, some fails, and some that are still processing. That's it for me, and passing it over to Steve.
Thank you, Andy. So yeah, just continuing on, obviously we've seen the potential power of the platform that Calum did a fantastic job of explaining, as well as Brian. But obviously there's a commercial element with only these sort of solutions. So when we look at this, we have a number of options that we've put together just estimated commercials for. So option 1 would be continuing the current route and looking at the time saved. So the Jira integration, 1 month. Zendesk integration would also take a month, same as Time Pro and the feature for the research. Now, when we look at the done videos, it's going to effectively be 1 month per integration, equaling 6 months, which leaves us with a total of 10 months. Now, total 10 months work is estimated to be around $8 million, which obviously is quite a high cost for any organization. Option 2 is the MCPs. Anything less than 10 months is going to be a win. So when we look at that ROI, obviously, if we can get it anything under that 8 million, we're laughing. So the estimated cost.
Excuse me, go back.
Go back.
Who was in charge of the calculator for this one? Did you pass the Excel exam? So how many people on the team? Yuli, how many people on a team to create $8 million worth of work?
I don't know, 10?
Looks about right to Yuli.
Yeah.
Pull out your calculator. That sounds like the whole company.
Yeah, okay.
I did say estimate. Yeah. Estimate is the prefix that leaves a little bit of open-ended.
We're going to be rich.
You want going under the budget?
Yeah. We want to look at the estimated cost. So option 1, do nothing. We have 10 months of free devs, $8 million. Option 1.5, which is a feasible option, definitely worth investigating. There's no wrong answers. But builder AI approach, 1 month plus Bradley. I apologize, Bradley, I got your name wrong. Manager salary equals 20K, or obviously our recommended option, which is the Yak Shaver MCP, 1 sprint of free devs, 10K.
Sure. On this one, Adam, basically the question is, do you want $8 million? That's it really. So the next steps are to take this recording, thanks Barzat, and put it into Calum's POC. That's going to create all the epics we need to build this properly, and it's going to assign Copilot to do all the work. So we should have it done pretty soon. And then we profit. Yeah. Yes.
But guys, actually, I'm not having a question, but I have a suggestion. sorry. I think I can see a minor problem with the current approach. We need if you want to sell this product to the customer, you might still end up need the customer's dev team to get involved. But the problem is, in real product company scenario, you can't just sell a product to the dev, because normally the dive time is really managed by the product team, and YakShaver is basically a product that kills the product team. I can't tell you how headache the product team made me feel, and how many times I think about YakShaver. I think they should all be replaced by YakShaver. Sorry to say that. So I'm thinking about, if you really want to sell this product, this is a perfect product, by the way. Think about how much a product team costs a year, and if you replace even half of them, how much value, how much revenue you can bring to a company. But I'm feeling like you should change the audience that you sell to. I feel like if you sell that to like customer success manager, if you're trying to make this product very customer success manager favorable or sales favorable, and those people will usually have the executive power to decide that I want to buy YakShaver, and they can use their once they buy YakShaver, they can kick all of the product team, which is what I want. But at the moment, I think this product requires a lot of product team involvement, dev team involvement, you wouldn't be sell it very easily because they want to keep their job. They don't want to change. That's the reality. And that's it, Adam.
So your suggestion is target the
I'm thinking about you should have more, let's say, HubSpot integration, and also you can't. If you think about having a, let's say, a desktop app, that's gonna be a huge problem because for any organization because SSW is a, I would say, exception. Like everybody has their freedom to use their computer. A lot of the in real time, sorry, I'm not saying in real, but in a company that is not SSW, you will literally have a problem that their IT managers control all employees' computer. And think about it. You're building a software, a system that will replace product management, replace a lot of IT managers. Would they be happy that you install a software in their employees' company that replace things? But what I'm thinking about is, for example, if you're using a Gemini, sorry, not Gemini, but maybe any large language model, in the very near future, they will be able to support MCP. So what if we eventually have YakShaver as a hosted MCP, and actually what you do give YakShaver is a list of MCP endpoint that the customer have, because what product manager, what IT manager can't control is what their employees set up remotely as a MCP. For example, HubSpot MCP, GitHub MCP. That's what product manager, that's what IT manager can't control, and they can just simply give all those remote endpoints to YakShaver, and then you give them the YakShaver MCP. So basically, a configuration given to YakShaver MCP with all the MCP they want to provide you. And then what's going to happen is the customer success manager going to directly create ticket.
Third presentation.
Sorry. This was my suggestion, directly to the software engineer, or somehow, let's say, the problem is, let's say we got a customer success team, they want a feature to be implemented, but the product team just keep pushing it back. But what if they can just fix it themselves? That would be awesome. But that's it, guys. So that's my suggestion. I feel like we're too developer oriented, too product team oriented, but I just don't believe they're gonna surrender. They're gonna give you the power. So, but instead, if you target up customer success manager, salesperson, they are the people who want to bring revenue. They are the people who want to win. But anyway, that's it.
thanks, Zach.
Any more?
The stuff that Andy is it now showed us, it looked like a lot of the stuff that's already in the portal. Is it supposed to replace the portal?
Those screenshots were the client app, right?
Yeah, but it was like the my shaves and config for setting up MCPs and stuff.
Yeah, it won't replace the portal. What we are thinking is like the admin, the sysadmin of the company will still have to configure the projects, right? When they configure the projects, they'll say this one's in GitHub, so here's the GitHub MCP.
So the config would be to change that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it should be the back and forth communication with the user of like, oh, I'm not sure which project you're using or stuff, or here's the PBI you just created, or that's me now. All right, cool. So how much of what we've done at the moment do we need to get rid of? Because basically what we're talking about here is the agent mode that we've been talking about for ages, right? But like just hooking in with MCPs. So when did that become so easy all of a sudden? I thought it was still quite a big job.
Not really.
Right, because now we have agent frameworks and all that, it's going to be easier than it used to be.
Already fast with MCPs. Everyone has an MCP. Obviously, if people don't have an MCP, would have to create one.
So this is a timing thing. It's just the time is now. Far out. Let's go.
Even create an MC. Sorry, you really made me want to work on that. But anyway, even creating an MCP is easy as long as the user can give you the API documentation, and you can have an MCP. It is just that easy.
Sorry, it's just a double question. With the personal access tokens, do they expire?
Pets.
The GitHub pats do expire, so you will have to create a new one. But I think you can create ones that never expire.
Should you though? Probably not.
Yeah, and for every MCP integration you will have to refresh those.
Yes.
You want it to work. Yeah.
Is there an easier way for that?
No, the NCP needs access to do things on your behalf, so it needs some kind of.
In the same way you need to log into a website after you get logged out.
Yeah.
It should be too much harder than that, ideally.
So you'll just need to go through each one and update them. What they
Yeah, I can see a vision where it makes that process a lot smoother, where it just says your token's expired, you need to sign in to GitHub, and it gives you the green sign in button. That just does that.
By the way, while we were talking, this is how the Jira MCP works. It actually pops up a thing. So when you try to use the Jira MCP server, it pops up an authentication window. All you have to do is click approve, and then it uses the authentication from that to talk to the MCP server. But yeah, you don't have to put your configuration there. It does it for you.
It would do the pat under the hood. It's just making a nice UI for it.